Her constant encouragement has inspired us to push our boundaries and achieve greater heights. We would like to request you to speak a few words of encouragement to the participants. Due to last minute commitments, ma'am could not join the webinar. Now, I'd like to welcome a professor in charge, Dr. Naveen Punjabi, who is also the vice principal of HR College of Commerce and Economics and leading our committee at E-Cell. Dr. Naveen Punjabi is a compassionate academician who aspires to develop country's leaders tomorrow. His personality has always pushed us as a committee as we strive to develop an entrepreneurial ecosystem. His compassion and comprehensions are unrivaled. Requesting you to speak a few words of enlightenment for all the participants. Due to last minute commitments, Sir could not join the webinar. Now, let's move on to our speaker. Our speaker for today's session will be Mr. Aman Goel, alumni of IIT Bombay and the founder of Cogno AI, acquired by Exotel. Mr. Goel is also an investor in high growth startups like JAR, HYPD, Stage OTT for Bharat SPI, Aspire UPI Pay Later, Convent.ai, Trav Clan, and others. His skills and immaculate knowledge would surely be fulfilling to all of us today. Hope you all enjoy the session. Over to you, sir.
Okay, so hello everyone. Nice to interact with all of you guys. Very excited to talk to you because I was in sort of a similar position as each one of you is some 5 years back. Basically, I was in the 4th year of college when I started my own company. So in today's session, basically, I will talk about my journey of building Cogno AI, the problems and challenges that I faced as a young entrepreneur, and how I sort of overcame them, and finally leading to a successful acquisition by Exotech. So please feel free to ask questions towards the end of the session. It will be more of a storytelling. So I don't know in the middle of the conversation what sort of conversation questions I can take. But definitely towards the end, we can have all sort of discussions. So are we recording the session? I think recording hasn't started yet.
So just a minute.
Yeah.
So the recording is on. We are screen recording the meeting.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Okay. So I'll start. Okay. So basically, how my journey started was in the summers of 2016. I was interning at a startup called Rubrik. So that was the end of 3rd year of college, right? In engineering colleges, the curriculum is of 4 years, and one is supposed to do an internship at the end of 3rd year, and sometimes also at the end of 2nd year for those students who can get an internship. So I was at a startup based in Palo Alto, which is called as Rubrik. They are into very exciting technology-based solution for enterprises. Basically, they have a cloud backup and recovery solution, right? A hardware and a software full stack. So I was interning there in the software team, which is the software engineering team, the file systems team. And that's where I got very excited about startups, business, entrepreneurship, right? Being a part of Silicon Valley, working at a startup, interacting with the right set of people, interacting with the founders of Rubrik, it was a very exciting experience for me. And that's where I thought to myself that why should I also not pursue some sort of entrepreneurial venture of my own? So when I came back to India for my 7th semester, which is the final year of college, 7th and 8th semester, I enrolled in some of the courses in the entrepreneurship department. The good thing about IIT Bombay is that like in the final year of college, so I didn't have to worry about placements because I had a pre-placement offer from the company where I interned. I didn't have to go for higher studies, so I didn't have the pressure of, let's say, GRE preparation, right? And I didn't have a pressure of undergrad project. That is also optional in IIT Bombay. And so basically 7th and 8th semester were completely free for me. in the final year, we are supposed to take some courses which are called as electives. I don't know what's the terminology in HR college. So I took up electives in entrepreneurship department, and that's the flexibility that IIT Bombay offers. That even though my major is in computer science, I can take up courses in any department and tag them as electives. So I took up a course in Introduction to Entrepreneurship, then another course in Technology Venture Creation, a course on Marketing for Entrepreneurs, and a course on IP for Entrepreneurs. IP is basically intellectual property. So that was, I mean, these four courses were very life changing for me. Typically, what happens is that in any college, engineering college, commerce college, arts college, right? Uh, lot of the courses are based on pen paper exams, written tests, right? For us, this was different because uh, all the professors in these courses are themselves industry veterans. They are themselves entrepreneurs who have built large scale, multi-billion dollar businesses. And so they didn't really care about pen paper based exams. So our exams were basically about, have you interacted with customers? Show me a proof of that, right? Go and build a business, validate your idea, collect customer feedback, build a product, right? That kind of proof was supposed to be shown as a part of evaluation process rather than participating in written exams. So that was very interesting because it pushed me to do something rather than just listen to lectures. So me and my earlier co-founder, we came up with an idea which was very simple. Basically, like 2016, 2017, that was the year when the adoption of apps like Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Uber, Amazon, Flipkart, it started to take off very well. But in spite of all of these apps in the market, my parents used to reach out to me for help in booking a cab or ordering something on Amazon, right? So the idea was that if there is technology to uh, order food from Swiggy or order a cab from Ola or Uber, why do the parents have to depend on their own kids for that? Why can't they do that in their own by their own without some external help? So the idea was, can we? I mean, we figured out. We spoke to a lot of prospects here in Hawaii, where the college campus is. I spoke with a lot of people in Starbucks, in some shops, right? People of all age, young people who are people like us whose parents ask for help from us, and we also spoke with some elderly people who cannot do these use these apps themselves. So we figured out that this could be a good opportunity. And solution wise, we were thinking that can we build something which is 1800 kind of number where people can call and book a cab by just speaking with a sort of a voice bot, right? A bot where I'm speaking with them. I'm saying, hello, I want to book a cab. Something like you guys would have used Google Assistant. I'm sure all of you would have seen Google Duplex. A couple of years ago, it was very much in the buzz. So, so that kind of solution where parents can call up a number, a voice bot greets them, and then they speak in their own language, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, whatever, to the voice bot and get the cab booked or get the or food ordered from Swiggy or Zomato or even an order from Amazon. But I mean, before even we could implement this idea, our professors at the entrepreneurship department, they told us that, look, you will have to spend a lot of money in educating and acquiring customers about this solution. So instead, why don't you go to some of the businesses who already have large customer base, and you give them this solution and say, look, I am giving you the technology and you give it to your customers to enable them. So a natural choice was financial institutions, right? Uh, while cab booking and all is simple, net banking parents don't touch at all. Net banking and mobile banking, most parents don't touch it at all. So we figured out that financial services is quite complex. We can give such solutions to banks and other financial institutions, and they can enable their customers. So we ended up working on a B2B version, and we incorporated the company in April 2017. So this is me, and this is my earlier co-founder. We are in HDFC Bank office to talk to them. So in that year, HDFC had launched a robot, IRA, Intelligent Robotic Assistant, IRA, in one of their branches. It was a physical robot, which will, I mean, you can talk to it and say, ki, I want to, whatever, submit a check, or I want to do an RTGS transaction, fund transfer. It will take you to the relevant counter. So it was very much in the news that year. We went to the branch, which is Kamla Mills in South Bombay, Lower Parel, and we met the branch manager and we told her that, look, we are students from IIT Bombay and we are doing a research on technology, AI, how those things can be used, right? And can we meet the team who has built this project? So they were kind enough to connect us with the corporate office, the team who had worked on that. And because we presented ourselves as students, academicians, and not as businessmen or entrepreneurs, which anyway we were not at that time, right? We were still in the fourth year of college and exploratory phase. So we met the corporate team who had built the project, and they were kind enough to give us feedback about why they did it, what are the other technologies, what are the other things they were working on. So the idea was not to sell anything because we didn't have anything to sell. The idea was to meet, collect feedback, understand what problems these financial institutions are solving, and were we thinking in the right manner when we were trying to build a voice bot. We also wanted feedback from these banks, right? Do they want this kind of solution? Do they see this as a problem state? So on the left side, again, we are meeting a person from Make My Trip. So I mean, companies like Make My Trip themselves are working on enabling these solutions for a larger audience, right? If my parents can book a flight through Make My Trip without my intervention, it's a revenue for Make My Trip. So that was the idea. So this is a short video that shows how we. I'll just play this video. So as a part of marketing for entrepreneurs course, we had to sell something before we build it. So Dropbox had created a very good concept. Basically, they created a video of their product before building Dropbox and floated it in the market. And a lot of people signed up for that product. Dropbox did not have a product at that time. They just had the concept, and people signed up for it because it was very exciting. So essentially, Dropbox was able to sell before they even built, and that was what we were also supposed to do. So we created this video in one of the professor's office where I'm showing a voice bot basically, which allows you to talk, query your account balance and stuff, and it's hard coded. It's not actually a working technology. It's just hard coded. So let me know if the audio is. I mean, you guys can hear the audio. What is my account balance?
Hello, your account balance is 24,000 rupees.
What are the best loan options available for laptop purchase?
We are happy to provide you instant personal loan of 30,000 rupees at 8%.
You guys got the idea, right? It's a hard-coded video. Uh, I also learned video editing at this time because we had to show something to a customer, and I didn't know video editing. So that's how we did this, and we showed it to some of these banks. Yes. So we showed it to some of the banks. We showed it to Axis Bank. We showed it to HDFC Bank. We showed it to Yes Bank. Axis Bank, literally, they went crazy that how come kids are there in the meeting and they threw us out. In one of the slides, we had mentioned next steps as graduate from college, and they went crazy. Ki, how come? I mean, these are two kids, two young kids, 21-year-old, trying to sell us something. So let's just throw them out. By that time, I mean, after meeting these HDFC banks, Yes Bank, and Axis Bank, we had learned that we don't have to present ourselves too much as a student now that we are in a stage where we are trying to solve their problem, right? They should feel that we are relatively mature. So we went to State Bank of India. So SBI as a public sector bank, they have a classical tender process in which they will ask for bids from 3, 4, 5 service providers. You got to be at least 5 years old in the market, right? You should be running that business for 5 years, 7 years. You should have a turnover of at least 25 crores. But fortunately, because of this Startup India program, SBI was given an instruction from the government of India that if there are any technology powered solutions up to 3 crore rupees, they can procure or they can purchase without any tender process. So we were very lucky. We were there at the right time. This is around May and June 2017, roughly 4 years, 5 years ago. And that was our eighth semester about to complete. So we reached at the right place at the right time. And it was also the last year of Arundhati Bhattacharya ma'am. She was the chairman of SBI and she was quite startup and technology savvy. So bank wanted to showcase right on their foundation day to their chairman about the stuff that they have done in the technical aspects. So we launched a chatbot for SBI, which was called as SIA, SBI Intelligent Assistant. It was a basic chatbot that could answer queries related to home loan, personal loan, credit card, net banking, and stuff, right? A simple FAQ-based chatbot. We went through a lot of negotiation rounds. We went through a lot of grilling. We had to learn a lot of stuff like what is a proposal, what is an on-premise deployment, right? Information security of the bank, because they have strict guidelines around what kind of technologies you are using in your product, what is the architecture of the server and the application. So we had to comply with all of that, right? So finally, on I think towards the end of June, we went live. And this photograph on the right, you see, this is of 2nd July 2017. So we were honored by the CIO and CTO of the State Bank Group. So this is me, just third from the right. And in the center, this is Mr. Mrityunjay Mahapatra, the person fourth on from the left. He is the former Chief Information Officer of SBI. So CIO is basically responsible for everything in technology. So you can say they are someone similar to a CTO, but CTO is more on technology infrastructure. CIO is more on technology new initiatives. So I mean, let's assume they are the same for simplification. So that's where that was a good launch pad for us. This is again me on the right side in this photograph, and this is my co-founder Soham. So SBI liked our product. They liked the fact that we were a young team. We were able to launch a solution fast, right? Typically, these large banks, they work with TCS and forces like companies, and they run projects for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. So for them also, it's not that exciting. Whenever they have to do something quickly, they can't work with large IT services companies because they have rigid processes. So startups like us, we can quickly bypass these processes. At least at our end, we don't have any processes which slow us down. So that's what SBI liked about us. They floated our name to their subsidiaries, right? SBI Life Insurance, SBI Mutual Fund, SBI General Insurance. So SBI Life Insurance onboarded us immediately, seeing the feedback and response from SBI. Later, SBI, we started working with SBI Mutual Fund also. One of our advisors introduced us to ICICI Bank. So far, everything seems like in one shot, everything went well, everything went very rosy, kind of, until we fell down on our face. So what happened was that we could not build a real business model out of it because, uh, I mean, the pricing structure, it was a one-time pricing structure. It means we were just charging, let's say, 50 lakh rupees one time, right? So there was no recurring pricing, which means next year, if I have to get more business from SBI, I have to again go back to them. They were not paying us any money. So we could not find a business model. And the reason was lack of focus. So my co-founder somehow felt that chatbots are a commodity. They are not a novelty. There are many companies. At that time also, there were other companies who were implementing chatbot-like solutions. There was Active.ai, there was SenseBot, there was Yellow Messenger, there was Avamo. So there were many players in the market. And so both of us were trying to escape from chatbot and do something else, right, in the beginning, because we were thinking that, look, if we continue doing this, someday or the other, we will be crushed because the other companies are very well funded. They have industry veterans, they have connects, while we are two just young people who have nothing. So we started exploring other ideas, something in education, something in some other space, collaboration, right? So there was a huge lack of focus, and a lack of focus leads to a lack of progress. A lack of progress leads to a lot of demotivation, and that's where we were. So incidentally, today is 6th of August, so exactly 4 years ago, he quit the company. It was a Monday. We were returning from Bangalore, and on the way to airport, he told me that, look, I can't continue like this. This business is not working out. I want to leave. And 2 days, 3 days later, on 9th of August, on Thursday, he went back to his hometown. So I was left with one intern and one full-time employee. It was a very difficult situation for me because, so basically, the difference between me and my co-founder was I come from a very small middle-class family, something like a 5 lakh rupees, 10 lakh rupees per year kind of family. So a contract from SBI, 50 lakh rupees, 70. So our first contract was actually 75 lakh rupees, broken down as 50 lakhs plus 25 lakhs. It was a lot of money for me, right? Like 10 years of my father's earning, while he came from a relatively financially well-to-do family. So for him, it was peanuts. I respect that, and we parted ways in a polite note. And I bought back his shares. So he held roughly 49% of the equity in the company. I was also holding 49%, and like 1.5% was with some of our advisors, 1.5 to 2%. So IIT Bombay Incubation Center. So I bought back his entire equity as per our contract. That if anyone leaves before I think 3 years, they have to give their equity back. So in all of this, my bank balance went below 5 lakh rupees. There is an intern with me whose stipend I have to pay. There is a full-time employee whose salary I have to pay. We had rented out a 2 BHK flat in Ghatkopar. The rent was some 50,000 rupees per month. So that was on top of our heads. And then there were customer liabilities also, right? Customer commitments to whom we had sold this product, maintenance of that product. All of that was a difficult situation for me. But I did not quit because, as I said, 75 lakh rupees for me was a lot of motivation. That look, in spite of whatever small thing we had, SBI gave us a 75 lakhs contract. SBI Mutual Fund, SBI Life, and ICICI Bank were working with us. So there was an opportunity. There seemed like if we continue working, there is an opportunity because there are customers who are paying money. Like I thought to myself that okay, there is Active.ai, there is Yellow Messenger, there is SunSpot, all of our competitors, but then these banks are working with us, which means there is something good or there is something unique which we are doing, just that we don't know what it is today. So I convinced Harshita, who is my current co-founder. She was at Citibank. She is an IIT Kanpur graduate. So she had left Citibank in around the month of May, like 3 months before my co-founder left, and she had moved to Mumbai in July. So she was also exploring some sort of entrepreneurial venture because she was bored of her job at Citibank. So immediately I convinced her to join me as a co-founder, and we both said ki let's cut down everything that we had done in the form of a distraction, right? I told you that Soham, which is my earlier co-founder, him and I were sort of exploring ideas in edtech, in collaboration space, everything except whatever was working. Basically, we were wasting time on that. So I cut down all those threads, and then Harshita and I divided our responsibilities. We said ki let's just focus on chatbots for financial institutions. That's it, large financial institutions, and let's divide the roles and responsibilities. Because I already knew some of our customers, they knew me, they had contacts with me. So I looked at everything on the customer side, which is sales, customer success, right? And because Harshita was also a technology person herself, she started looking at product and engineering, all the internal stuff which you do in office. And after that, I fully focused on just selling. So I never sat in our office, which was a Ghatkopar flat in Ghatkopar, a 2 BHK flat. I always stayed in our customer's office. So I spent so much time in ICICI Bank office that so when you go to these large banks, for security purposes, you have to register or you have to submit the serial number of your laptop, right? So that in case some device gets stolen and all, they are able to trace it. So the security guard, I mean, I went every day there. The security guard had memorized the serial number of my laptop. I didn't have to tell them because they knew it every day. I used to come. In that year, basically UPI had taken off so well, and ICICI Bank was at the forefront of UPI revolution in 2017, 2018, 2018 actually, that they had stopped all payments in their canteen, right? In their office, there is a big canteen, and they said everybody is supposed to only pay in UPI. But sometimes UPI used to fail. Right now, it's very robust, but earlier you guys would have seen UPI failing quite a lot. So if UPI used to fail, the canteen guy used to tell me कि आप तो रोज आते हैं आप कल पैसे दे दीजिएगा. I spent so much time in ICICI Bank office, right? So that I think that was a pivoting moment for us. And today we work with all the major financial institutions: State Bank Group, Kotak Group, ICICI Group, HDFC Group, Bajaj Group, Aditya Birla Group, Axis Group, all the major financial institutions of India. So ICICI Bank became so happy with us. They referred us to ICICI Securities. When we went to ICICI Securities, which is the stockbroking arm of ICICI Bank, they did not evaluate us too much for the simple reason that bank had done their evaluation. So if you have to sell to a large enterprise like ICICI Bank, you have to convince multiple stakeholders. So there is someone from the business side who will look at the business benefit of the product. Can this product save me $1 million a year? Or can this product give me additional revenues of $5 million a year? Then there is an IT person who will look at the architecture, the technical integration and stuff. Then there is an information security person who will look at the safety aspects, right? Is the product secure? Because tomorrow, if a data breach happens, it's financial data, it's regulated data, it will be leading to not just a data loss, but also reputational loss, right? So business, IT, InfoSec, and there is a legal person who will look at the like legal aspects, right? Non-exclusivity, non-disclosure and stuff. Then there is a compliance person who will look at it that whether this product complies with RBI guidelines or not, right? We should not be doing something which RBI does not like. Then there is a finance person who will look at the financial aspects of our company. Are we a stable enough service provider? Do we have money in our bank? Are we bankrupt? And then there is a procurement person who will discuss the pricing with us and sort of negotiate the best rate for their bank. So you have to convince all 7 stakeholders. But we saw that in ICICI Securities, we had to convince the business person. The IT was copy pasted because it's the same product. We don't have to do anything again. Information security, legal, compliance, finance, and pricing, which is procurement. Everything was copy pasted from the bank. So they just had to make a business decision that yes, this product is useful for us. So we figured out that the sales cycle can be drastically reduced if we go and sell within the same sort of group, right? ICICI is a big group. If I go to ICICI Securities and they can onboard me fast, so I can go to ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund also. They can also onboard me fast. So we expanded rapidly within ICICI Group. Then we started working. One of our advisors introduced us to Kotak Group, and we started expanding within Kotak Group also very quickly. So Kotak Bank, Kotak Securities, Kotak Life, Kotak General, Kotak Phoenix ARC, right? All the subsidiaries. State Bank, we started with an SBI Life, SBI Mutual Fund, SBI General Insurance, SBI Life Insurance, SBI Cap Securities, which is the stock broking arm. So we expanded everywhere rapidly for the simple reason that we had sort of approvals or rather clearances from all the other teams, which is the IT, InfoSec, legal, compliance, finance, and procurement. So I think that's when we realized the value of our product in financial services. We realized that look, while other players are pitching their technology, saying ki our product has machine learning, our product has AI, our product is more scalable, blah blah blah. What we were pitching is our product is safe and secure. We will provide you support round the clock, even over the weekends. We have domain knowledge because we have done it for State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, and Kotak Bank. So we can do it for your bank also. So we figured out that for these large enterprises, the biggest challenge is how to purchase a product fast, in the sense that typically like a TCS like company will spend 12 months, 18 months in a project. And in such a long time, companies lose motivation, right? They will get bored that ek saal ho gaya, the person will get transferred to some other company and they will be like, screw it, I don't want to do it, right? So they wanted a service provider who can be reliable, who can deliver the project fast, who can deliver it as per banking standards. So that was the value proposition from us, rather than us being a better technology or an IIT Bombay or whatever, right? So these things you discover with time. I mean, just imagine we started off with flight booking, cab booking, Amazon ordering, and today we are here selling to banks with the premise that we provide very high quality support, very high quality domain knowledge, and very high quality support security infrastructure. So that's how the startup idea evolves with time, with customer feedback, with feedback from mentors, with feedback from advisors. So one key learning here is that don't stick to your idea. The first version of your idea might look very rude, and you might think that no, this is not exciting. Like my co-founder, right? He thought that this is not exciting, but over time, Harshita and I could find out the juice of it, the meat of it, right? The crux of it, that this is why our product is selling, and this is the market where our product will sell better. So today we work with 100 plus companies across multiple countries. So we got awarded. So this is like an award we received from ICICI Lombard. This is an ICICI Bank. So customers were getting awarded from industries, right? So there are many programs where best customer experience award, best bank in technology. So our customers started winning these awards. So in turn, they also felicitated us. They also honored us that, look, you have been a great partner. So this builds references. This helped us build a lot of references within the market where, I mean, getting an award from ICICI Bank, you can go and shout it at the top of your voice in Kotak Bank that, look, I'm an award winner from ICICI. It builds a lot of trust. So now came the acquisition by Exotel. So last year in January, Exotel came to us. And so Exotel, I'll tell you about them. They have been in the market for roughly 11 years. Very good, very inspiring story of the founders. They have been through all the good things that happened in the market and also the bad things, including a COVID market crash, a recession and all, right? So they have built a fantastic cloud telephony product. So whenever basically a software in, so what happens is if you are setting up a business and you need to set up 5 call center agents, right? You need a 1800 number and a software where these agents can log in, talk to customers using that telephony line. So Exotel provides you all of that. So 99% of the last mile calls that you get, when I say last mile call, when a Swiggy delivery boy is calling you, it's powered by Exotel. When your Ola cab driver is calling you or an Uber cab driver is calling you, it's powered by Exotel. When your Flipkart delivery boy is calling you, it's powered by Exotel. All of these calling mechanisms, last mile, 99% of that is powered by Exotel. Exotel has 7,000 customers and they are present across 60 plus countries. So very robust company, right? So for us, like we looked at Exotel, that if you think of them, they are a telephony pipe, right? They have a voice-based system. We, on the other hand, had a chat-based system. So by the way, we started with our voice idea, but we ended up building chat, right? Because that's what our customers wanted. So Exotel had the full voice stack and we had the full chat stack. Chat bots, website bots, WhatsApp bots, bots on Instagram, bots on Twitter. So they acquired us for the simple reason that if we integrate the two products, we will get a full stack customer communication platform. So now let's say if I am the CTO of ICICI Bank or I'm a CIO of SBI, earlier to build a communication stack, I had to work with multiple service providers. And that is difficult because with each service provider, you have to do a due diligence, you have to do an agreement, you have to evaluate them, you have to negotiate pricing, you have to coordinate with them. But now with us coming together, and they acquired another company called Ameo last year, which is a leading player in contact center space. So let's not get into technicalities, but broadly, with these companies, all three of us coming together, we can go to a CIO or a CTO and say, look, whatever you need for customer communication enablement, we have everything, which means we have chat, we have telephony, we have SMS, we have voice, we have video, we have Instagram messaging, we have Twitter messaging, everything. So now you don't have to worry about coordinating with vendors. You don't have to worry about due diligence of 5 other vendors. You don't have to worry about vendors fighting with each other and all of that, right? So this becomes a good value proposition for the large enterprise that we are reaching out to. So I mean that was the reason why we joined hands with Exotel, and I am heading the conversational AI division. So my role is to still run the conversational AI business, which is what I was doing, and we are operating as an independent subsidiary of Exotel, which means that our team members have not merged with Exotel. And the reason is that my team is all people in 20s, people of your age, my age. Exotel has people in 30s, right? People 10 years elder than us, and Ameo has people in 40s, which is like people 20 years senior to us. So integrating a team of all such people, bringing them together is very difficult. Three companies, three cultures, three set of uh, uh, genre, I would say. So we are staying independent, and at the same time, the leadership is working closely together to stitch these teams together. So over a period of time, we will obviously integrate in the future, but at the moment, we are staying independent. And my primary role now is to take our product to these 7,000 customers of Exotel, right? They already trust Exotel as a brand. They are already using our telephony solutions. So my role is to go to them and say, hey, I have a chatbot product. Why would you like to extend your solution, extend your offering to that? So that's about the journey of Exotel, journey of Cogno with Exotel. And my learnings are that number one, don't give up. I think 4 years back, my co-founder gave up, and I did not give up, and that has made all the difference. Number two, focus. So we cut down all the threads of something in edtech, something in collaboration space, something, and we said, screw it, let's just build for one sector, which is financial services, large institutions. Number three, leverage the IIT alumni network. So we leveraged a lot of my college alumni network. So CIO of AU Bank is an IIT Bombay alumni. Chief Digital Officer of Axis Bank is an IIT Bombay alumni. CEO of Max Life Insurance is an IIT Kharagpur alumni. Executive Director of ICICI Bank is an IIT Kanpur alumni. So we were able to approach them, right? So same way, if your college alumni are doing something, if they are an investor, if they are as an executive in some company which you want to approach, find them on LinkedIn and reach out to them. They will have a soft corner for you because you are where they were some years back. Fourth is execution is the key, which means you keep on executing, right? You don't give up because idea a dime a dozen. I'm sure if you ask me, I'll give you 50 startup ideas right now, but doesn't mean that all of you will be able to launch a business. Some people will relentlessly execute. They will work over the weekends. They will work at night. They will work at odd office hours, right? And they will be able to get things done. On the other hand, some people will just ponder over the idea and say, what do? I don't know. And lastly, don't chase investors, chase customers. So at the time of Exotel acquisition, Harshita and I held 97% of the company. The 3% was given to some of our advisors and angel investors for helping us. So that was not really for investment purposes. That was to sort of bring them on board in the company as a mentor. So one last advice I would say, which is, sorry, whenever you seek help, don't ask for advice, don't ask for shortcuts, don't ask for motivation. Always ask for solutions to problems. So be very specific about what problem you are facing. Are you not able to hire the right person? Then what have you done so far? So don't ask for shortcuts from people when seeking advice. So with that, I will end my sort of lecture or journey or story, whatever you guys say, and I'm happy to take questions. And the last point, which I mentioned, that don't ask for advice or motivation or shortcuts. This hold true for me also. While I'm open to Q&A, I'm not open to giving advice or giving gyan or giving shortcuts. So please, if anyone wants to ask something, please ask specific questions and definitely talk about what have you done to solve that problem and where was the roadblock. Don't ask me that, Bhaiya, how do I do a startup? That's not a problem. I am going to help. And definitely don't ask me that I have a job offer and I want to do a startup. Which one should I choose? If this is your question, then please go for a job offer. If you want to get into entrepreneurship and you are indecisive, you better not go for it because the journey is going to be hard. If you are indecisive today, 3 months later, when you are not getting a paying customers, you will not be able to continue. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much. Please feel free to take questions, to ask questions in whatever format the organizers are recommending. I don't know if people are allowed to speak in this webinar, or if you can put a message on the chat.
You
Hi,
can
Aman.
either,
Can I speak?
yeah, please Ashita, go ahead.
Hi, Aman. This is Ashitwa. I had a PR at E-Cell. And apart from that, I do sales at a media and marketing agency.
Okay.
Okay. So when you're talking about your whole journey as completely relating to the point, because when you, at the moment you said that I feel like, it's so easy to do a particular sale and it is so hard to do a sale when you get into a particular segment, like you said that we entered into SBI, and that's how you got introduced to ICICI. And when you
Correct.
enter into particular segment like SBI, then you completely expand your business in that particular segment. So, just a quick question to you, like, are you guys a bootstrapped company, or are you guys have raised some sort of investment?
I
So,
think I mentioned that in the last part of my conversation, that at the time of Exotel acquisition, me and my co-founder held 97% equity in the company, and so we are bootstrapped. We haven't raised funding. As I said, let's say uh, we wanted. Let's take an example. Someone from ICICI Bank or someone from our customer, they want to get associated with us. They will say that, look, I have many connects in the industry. I will help you. I can't pay them money because their time is too valuable. So the way I will work with them is, give me 5 lakh rupees, invest in my company. I'll give you 1% equity. I'm just giving an example, huh? Random numbers. So that way we have gotten associated with some mentors and some advisors to whom we have given 3% equity. So that is not fundraising. That is just recruitment strategy.
amazing, amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much, Aman. Thank you.
So in your introduction, it was said that you are also an investor in JAR, TraftClan, and other startups as well. So what does it like drive you to invest in some startup? What are the key qualities you look in them?
Yeah, so I do that. So, okay, I'm still learning startup investment, but I think I look at the market, the space. Uh, I mean, these are small ticket investment, like 3 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees, that kind of investment. So I don't really get into the depth of it. If a friend is investing and they have recommended something like that, then I will invest. I don't have time to actually do the due diligence of the startup myself. So if some reputed investor is investing, I will probably put a three to 5 lakh rupees check. And I'm a passive investor, which means I don't. I mean, in all my investments, I have barely spoken with the founder. So I'm not an active investor because I'm running my own business, so I don't have too much time to help. Basically, what I'm saying is there is no such criteria. A friend is investing, they call up and say, "Why don't you put 5 lakhs in this business? I'll invest."
So by what ways you invest in a startup? Like you give it to an angel investor or something like that,
Yeah, so I mean,
or directly to the
so I,
company?
okay, so I don't invest directly basically because I invest small ticket size. 3 to 5 lakh rupees is not going to help anyone. So when a fund is investing, let's say a couple of $1 million, right? कुछ 15-16 करोड़ का round हो रहा है. उसमें many times startup allocate 1 crore rupees for angel investors like me, right? So some 10-20 angel investors will come. So for example, Rahul, who's the founder of Tribo Hotels, so we are a part of a group. So if he leads an investment saying, look, I am investing 30 lakh rupees in this, so in that group, he posts, and whoever is interested, they participate. So I look at the co-investor. So I know my strategy is not that great, but then I don't have too much time to think about 3 to 5 lakhs of investment. If I spend that time in my own business, I'll make more money. So it's more like a hobby, you can say.
Also, I had another question. Like, if you wanted to go back, and since you are an IIT Bombay graduate, I don't think so. Like, you might have got a less package than of a crore or something, because you guys are valued more in the market. So, do you wish to go back and start a job which would have been easier, or the
Definitely not.
entrepreneurship was better?
Definitely not. Like after all the outcomes that I've achieved in entrepreneurship, I mean, I'm a young entrepreneur, and these are all small outcomes compared to what big entrepreneurs have achieved. But definitely, I'm doing far better than what I would have done in a job. There is no question about that.
Thank you, sir.
Hello,
Yes,
hello.
yes.
Hi, Aman. Actually, I know you since from 2014 when I started my journey of IIT. So I'm a big fan of you.
Please
So,
turn on your video to ask questions. I should know who is asking.
so my name is Prathamesh.
Oh, that I can see.
So actually, I don't know, my video is not owning only. So
Okay.
I just want
Okay.
to ask, my question is that
Sure.
right now,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Uh,
I'm not from HR college. So sorry for that also.
tell that.
So actually right now I'm currently doing my job at Infosys. But
Okay.
since from I recently graduate. So my question to you is that, Aman, so having a prior experience in industry, is it mandatory to do the startup? Actually, I've been very interested in doing a startup. Actually, we have a team. On weekend
He
we
was
actually
there.
do some kind of stuff, and we think also that. But what can you explain me that how to start actually any kind of startup, and how to do the things and operations in that? So can you please help me in that?
So, Prathamesh, it all starts, I think, Ansh, if you can please mute. Yeah, thank you. So, Prathamesh, it all starts with a problem statement, right? For us, it started with a problem that we were trying to solve for parents who are not able to use Ola, Uber, Zomato, and stuff. So, you start off with a problem statement, and first you validate the problem, which means that is that a problem at all, right? Are there enough people who are saying, ki, yes, I'm facing this issue? Because you might be an exception in the sense that it might be that my parents don't know how to use these apps, but the rest of the world already knows it. In that case, the problem statement that I have in mind is bad. So the first thing you do is go and talk to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. And out of 50 people, it's let's say 25 or 30 people say that, yes, I face a challenge in ordering food on whatever, Swiggy, or ordering something on Amazon. Then the first thing you know is, yes, there is something wrong which needs to be fixed. Once that you have got that conviction, then you start building a solution. For solutioning, you need to work with these people only. That, look, you tell me, how do I deliver you, like, what do I do that will make you solve this problem, or what do I do using which you will be able to sort of get a solution for this. A very simple example could be Amazon in Hindi. I mean, if that is the case, my parents will be able to use it, right? But someone else may want an Amazon in Telugu. So Amazon, being a multinational global giant, cannot build in every regional language in India. In India, I think there are 25 plus recognized languages, and maybe if you count unrecognized languages, there might be 50 plus languages. So they cannot build in every language their application. But then that opens up a startup opportunity. Why don't you build an Amazon-like platform? So let's say you choose the top three language. Let's say example Hindi, Gujarati, and Marathi. So I'm just giving an example. I don't know which one is the top three. So you pick these languages and you build a solution around this, which is an Amazon in vernacular. So maybe that is a better solution than something on voice. So that you work with your customers, that you work backwards to understand that what is it that you will do to get things working. Much like you are asking me, right, Aman, what do I do so that my startup takes off the ground? Something like that. So you have to do that activity and continue iterating until you get a product where customer says, wow, this is excellent, I'll pay for it. So it's called as building a product market fit. There is a book on this called The Lean Startup. You guys can search about it. Just type The Lean Startup. It's the most popular book on the for the startup. I mean, for building a product, for understanding the problem statement. So that's how you do it.
Thank you so much, Aman. And one last question is that right now I'm currently doing my job in the technology perspective side. So do I need to get some kind of more experience in finance type also, and then start my startup, or is it okay to start from the bootstrap only?
I did not have any finance knowledge when I started, so I will say ki it doesn't matter what is your prior experience.
Okay. And
Yeah,
my last question is that how to choose a good person for a startup? Last.
good person in the sense.
uh, like like I have one sense of thought in my mind. So, and if my partner is having same thought, so should I means take in my team, or what kind of people should I find that to join my startup community?
So
So how
you
to
should
find a good people?
So see, good people, basically your college network, people in your company who you feel are very good people, right? So you mentioned you are in Infosys, correct?
Yes.
So in Infosys, I'm sure there are many other smart people who will have a certain different knowledge. So let's say you're a software engineer, there might be someone who's on the product side or someone on the sales side who you would be interacting with. So they could be, and you respect them because they do their job very well. So you could you could have them as your co-founder, or someone from your college. Like Harshita and I are friends from college, right? She's from IIT Kanpur, I'm from IIT Bombay, but we knew each other. Or Soham, which is my earlier co-founder, lived 2 rooms away from my room in IIT campus. So I knew him very well. So people you know, people you respect, and most importantly, people who are excited by the problem you are solving. So if I'm building something for voice, I'll give an example. There will be some people who are very passionate about education, right? There will be others who have a background of finance in their family or legal in their family. So they will be very passionate about legal problems, solving something illegal. Someone else might be excited about gardening, right? So someone else might be excited about donation and social causes. So whatever excites you, that is the domain you should try to build a business on. And your co-founder should also be excited about that. That is most important. And plus, they should have capabilities which are complementary to you. So if you are a software engineer, they should not be a software engineer. They should be something else.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Thank you so much, Aman. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. So any other questions? I'm happy to take. Okay, AI IT. So look, AI IT is not my field, right? My field is financial services. So field is not defined by. I mean, if you ask Kunal Shah, who is building free charge, who has built free charge or who is building cred, there is no AI and ML in cred. So what is the field of Kunal Shah? Is it like website development, mobile app development? Definitely not, right? The field is not defined by your solution. The field is defined by the problem you are solving. So the problem they are solving is giving access to financial services. That's why it's a fintech and not a web development or a mobile app development company. Same way, I'm trying to solve the problem of large enterprises. So our field is SaaS, software as a service. It's not a AI or IT field. So yeah, maybe one last question. We have a hard stop at 12 o'clock.
Um, my greetings, Salman and everyone. Please, I'm Food from Africa,
Sorry,
Ghana.
your voice is breaking.
Okay, I'm Phoebe from Africa, Ghana.
Okay. Hi, nice to connect.
Nice connection. Please, I'll just ask, I'm touching on partnership points and with the co-founding team. If let's say the co-founder has the required skills, but then is in terms of um, attitude and values, we sort of we don't we sort of we conflict in terms of attitude and values. What do you think should there might be in that like case when he has the skills which could potentially make the startup potentially successful? What should one do in that situation?
So, okay. So you're saying you're distracted. Is that the correct understanding?
No, please. I'm saying if let's say I find a suitable co-founder, but
Okay.
then his attitude and values conflict with mine,
Right.
yeah, but he has
Okay.
the necessary skills.
No. So I think skills can be learned easily, but attitude and those kind of things, integrity, values, that cannot be learned. That is an inherent behavior of a person. So I think if I mean I will give last preference to the skills of someone. I'll tell you why. Like if you think about me, right? The last skill I had was sales. I am a hardcore programmer. In my college also, I was doing programming. I was good at it. I was a 9 pointer, right? So not a backbencher. But then I ended up doing sales because I could learn that skill very easily. What mattered was my attitude of not quitting, my values of integrity, my values of focusing, right? Those kind of things. So I think that matters far more. So my earlier co-founder is definitely 10 times smarter than my current co-founder, Harshita, but then the values did not meet, right? But Harshita, although she is less smart, or let's say I am also less smart my earlier co-founder, we were able to do well. At least in our definition, we were able to do well for the simple reason that we were consistent, we were focused on customers, we were focused on execution, rather than us having a skill. Like today, I'm leading a team of 150 people. I'd never had that as a skill. So as an entrepreneur, over time you learn many skills. So let's say today you have some skills of building a product. I'm just giving an example. All of us will have some skill of building a product. People are there from commerce background. So you guys will have some skills in finance and commerce. I had some skills in programming. But let's say you're able to do something and you have a 5-member team now. None of us, exclude myself for the time being, because all of us are from college, none of us has a skill of hiring people, correct? You will have to learn that. And let's say you were able to learn hiring and suddenly you have a team of 20 people now, but now you don't know how to manage 20 people. How do you track their performance? How do you track their productivity? If people will fight with each other, how do you resolve the conflicts? People will come to you with an offer letter and say, look, I have an offer letter with 20% hike, 20% increment. So all these challenges you will keep on facing, and then all of these things you will have to learn in your life for the first time, because as a college student, as a young entrepreneur, you will never have these skills. So what I'm saying is, as an entrepreneur, the least thing you should have is to be able to learn anything. The learnability aspect is the last thing you should have, and it's like a given thing. You should not have a co-founder who does not have learnability or who does not have skills. So I will discount any skill when I'm looking for a co-founder, because that is the bare minimum. And I mean, if you are buying a car, you will not compare the wheels of the car. I mean, that's a bare minimum that every car should have. You will look at the acceleration, you will look at the speed, you will look at comfort, those kind of things, because that's what varies. Same way, skill is the bare minimum, or learnability is the bare minimum every entrepreneur should have. So comparing based on skills is a wrong thing, is what I would say. You should compare on values, you should compare on how excited about the problem, whether they respect you, whether you respect them. And if you get a wrong co-founder, that's like 90% of death already of your startup done. 10% will happen over a period of time when you get punched on your face or fall on your face like I did.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So I think we can wrap up.
Hi, Aman. Hi, hello.
Hi, okay.
Hello,
Hi,
hi,
Aman.
Aman. Hi, Aman. I am an IT Delhi postgraduate in
Okay.
textile engineering background. Actually, one thing I want to ask ki if you are starting a startup for say in a particular field, if there is a problem we are solving on and many people are on the working on the same problem, do this is a disadvantage or a can you say something about this?
Okay, so I will give a very raw example. I request everyone to not judge me on that, but this
Mhm.
example will best explain. So you are a boy. If you are, if you have a crush on a girl and if you are chasing her, you will focus on the girl rather than other boys who are chasing that girl. I think that explains the best, right? To be able to convince that girl, you need to do things which that girl likes rather than what other boys are doing. Other boys may be doing 50 other things. Someone might be 10 times richer than you. Someone might have an iPhone or gift her an iPhone, whatever she likes, right? Someone, I mean, she may like notes and the other person might be giving notes. But then you got to figure out what is it that you bring on the table for her. So it works the same way. We had a lot of competitors working on the same idea, but then we stayed focused on the customer, and that's what worked for us. Even today, if any of my team members says, "Ki, look, Yellow.ai is doing this, Haptic is doing that," I tell them that go and join Yellow.ai if you like what they are doing. Why are you here? I will do whatever is in the interest of my customer. I will not do what Yellow.ai is doing.
Okay. So customers are attracted by the quality of the product solution that you are offering
Yes,
on.
yes.
Okay.
It
Okay.
could be
Thanks a lot.
anything. It could be just you because they like you. They like the IIT tag, or it could be someone else. I mean, I'll give you an example, right? Uh, how many of you know about Lamborghini as a car? I'm sure all of you, right? It's a fantastic car. Uh, it will cost you like whatever $500,000, 3-4 crore rupees. Can you drive it in the roads of Mumbai? Is it possible? No. I think a simple Alto will do a better job in Mumbai than a Lamborghini. So
Mhm.
it's not a question of which is better, which is less better. It's a question of what is relevant for the customer.
Okay. So LinkedIn is the best platform to showcase these things.
Again, there is no absolute best or words or something. If your customers are on Instagram, LinkedIn is not the best platform. If your
Okay.
customers are in a cafeteria near your home, then Instagram is also not the best platform.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Okay, I think we can wrap up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. Hope this session was helpful and it encourages some of you to start a company of your own. I'm contactable on LinkedIn. I'm not very active, although, but I write a blog, amangoel.in. I have a YouTube channel which you can search. Through that, I do like one-to-many mentoring, sort of. So please feel free to connect. Okay, someone likes my chair. It's a Green Soul monster chair. It's quite good. I think it has a high back. That's why I bought it.
Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of E-Cell, I'd like to extend my heart. Hello. Yeah. On behalf of E-Cell, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you, Mr. Aman Goel. Thank you for devoting your time from your busy schedule and enlightening us about the topic. Sincere thanks to the team of E-Cell who made the event a huge success. Also, a huge round of applause and thanks to all the students and members who attended this insightful session. Finally, I'd like to thank our principal Dr. Pooja Ramchandani ma'am and our vice principal and teacher in charge Dr. Naveen Punjabi sir for their constant motivation and support. I request you all to fill up the feedback form provided to you before leaving the meeting. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you all have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.